Hi, in this little webcam vid, you're going to be learning how to walk from an E chord to a G chord. This time we're going to walk from an E chord to a four-fingered G chord, and you'll notice that there are at least four different ways we can play the G chord in open position. We can just play it as a 5-string chord, which is just this, finger 1 and 2, and the trick is you're only playing across that string. You're not playing the E string, you're ignoring that, you're just pretending that each time you play this that you're playing a 5-fingered guitar. So that's a really simple G, right? And you can play it with those two fingers or these two fingers on E3 and A2 respectively. Okay, so that's one way. There's two ways. One way you can play the chord with two different fingerings, 5-string chord. Another way is to play it with this 5-string chord here. Okay, this time you got the third finger on the B string instead of having it open, nothing on it. Put the third finger on B3. So you got two kinds of 5-string G chords there. Then the next, and you can play it with the other fingers, with the fingers arranged like this. So the little guy is on B3, or the big guy, finger 3 is on B3. Doesn't matter how you finger it, if the notes are the same, that's a G chord. Then you can also do the G as a 4-fingered chord, which we're going to do now. Okay, so just demonstrating what these chords actually are. Now, for our purposes, we're not going to play these things because we're not at that stage yet. What we're going to do instead is walk to them. So now we're going to walk from an E chord to a G chord, to a 4-string G chord. Sorry, to a 4-fingered G chord across 6 strings. So we start finger 1, G1, finger 2, A2, finger 3, D3. So first thing we're going to do is pivot out finger 3 from D2 to D3, like that. Nice and slow. Okay. Then we're going to walk, let's go with finger 2. We're going to walk, let's go with finger 3. We're going to walk finger 3 from D3 to G3. Okay, so this might be a bit of a stretch for you. That's okay. Then just come forward in your hand, make sure you've got plenty of room, and pose that. Hold it for like 90 seconds or 2 minutes with no pressure on the fingers until the muscles get used to it. Okay. Then if you can, take this third finger and move it from G3 to B3. Okay, now you might feel a stretch going on between the second finger and the third finger. Again, it's just news to the finger muscles, so hold it and just touching the strings, but just pose that for at least 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. Okay, so look out the window, think about something else, but make sure that these fingers are posing and in the right position. Great. Now that you've posed that, what we're going to do is move the first finger over from G1 to G2, G1 to G2, G1 to G2. Okay, because we're only touching, we're not too worried about getting near the fret wire. Then what we're going to do is pivot on this third finger and move the second finger from A2 to A3, right? So we want finger 1 and finger 3 to stay where they are, stay in that fret. Pivot on those fingers and the thumb so that the second finger goes across from A2 to A3. Now what we want to do is pivot first finger from we're going to now move, staying with finger 3. We're going to move finger 3 from A3 to E3, A3 to E3, A3 to E3. Okay, now we've got that finger where we want it. Then we're going to move finger 1 from G2 to D2, G2 to D2, then from D2 to A2. Okay, so we need to be going really slow, G2 to A2. And for slower versions you can go to slowguitarlessons.com and they go even slower than this. Okay. Okay, so now we have 3 fingers in place. Then we take this little guy, we pivot, and we place him on the E string 3rd fret. So it's like this. Okay, so your whole G chord now looks like E3, A2, B3, E3. And you've now arrived at a 4-fingered G chord across 6 strings. Why do we want this particular G chord? For a number of reasons. One of them is that it makes it really easy to change into a D chord, which is the subject of another video. So for Alex with his amazing G chords, this video is dedicated to you, and to Matthew, and to Lisa. And this ends this beginner guitar chord lesson, how to walk from the E chord to the G chord. So try it out, you might have a bit of fun with it, and leave us a comment and question, and enjoy. Okay, this ends this webcam video.